These highlights from the Probate podcast will help you navigate life transitions like a pro. From senior living to estate planning to probate, you'll learn incredibly useful tips. Be sure to like and subscribe to hear more from Sherry Lund and her expert guests.
I was talking to someone recently, and the mom passed away. Dad had already passed away. And so the daughter who lives here in town is looking at the house, and she's got all the things that she's trying to juggle in her own personal life, as well as what's going on in mom's house. And she just wants that off her plate. She's just does not have any more capacity to handle one more thing. But there's another sibling who doesn't live here, who's not feeling the weight of the responsibility of all the things. And they're wanting the house. It's $1 million house because they grew up there. They have all these childhood memories, and it's really an unrealistic expectation. And it puts a lot of conversation and emotional charge into the situation when the daughter just really needs some help. And can we just move on? What would you advise?
I've been in those situations before. I have one of those that comes to mind. The father had passed away, and one of the daughters lived here in town, and the other one lived out of state. And one was doing her best to get the things done, and the other one didn't understand why things weren't moving faster and why the value of the home wasn't greater than it was. What I try to do sometimes when a seller, because that's who they are now, they are sellers, is having some trouble detaching from this part of the process, is I have them put their buyer hat on, and I have them act like a buyer. And I say, okay, so if you're going to buy a property and you see these things, what are you going to think? How are you going to feel? And then how would that affect the price you would offer? And would you be incentivized at this price to do the things that are needed? Sometimes when they're able to shift gears and put the perspective from a buyer, that helps. If you have people who aren't living here, it's a little harder, but I have taken sellers to act like buyers, and we've gone and looked at homes that are on the market so that they can compare competition, and so that they can also gauge, oh, does my house really look like this or not? Sometimes they physically need to be in that space, and that isn't always possible in these situations. But I think the key there is just really trying to help them focus on the tasks and not the emotion that's wrapped up into it. Many times traditional sellers also, they struggle to pack, and we have to focus on the goal. The goal is for you to move. And so the sooner you start packing, the easier that will be for you to just take those steps. So everything we do in the transaction is meant to make everything easier. It's to get us moving in the right direction.
That's when you put your coaching hat on, right? It sounds like you're backing your sporting days and trying to get people to do something that they may not know. Remind them what their goal is or whatever it was you said.
Right. Many days, that's the trick with myself too. What's the goal, Erica?
Right.
Trying to do.
Right. Self-coaching. Yeah.
Yeah.
To catch the full episode and explore more resources from the Probate podcast, check the links in the description and be sure to subscribe for more tips each week.